Hi everyone, my name is Kavya Sudha and I'm studying 5th year of BA LLB in Andhra University College of Law. I will discuss precisely about contract of fire insurance. In this regard, there are two questions which help us to understand it. First is what is a fire insurance contract and what amount is recoverable in a fire insurance contract. Firstly, a fire insurance contract is a contract of insurance where a person undertakes to indemnify the loss caused by fire for consideration up to the extent to the agreed amount. As like other contracts, contract of fire insurance satisfies all the essentials of a valid contract. We all know that Indian laws have mostly their origin from England. In India, fire insurance is dealt by the Insurance Act 1938 apart from other insurance contracts and is defined under section 2 subsection 6A. A question may arise that the agreement is on a future uncertain event. There are equal chances of happening and also not happening of that event. Then is fire insurance contract a wagering contract? No. The insurance contract is not a wagering contract. In a wagering contract, one person must win and other must lose. But in the insurance contract, no party wins or loses. The insured amount is paid to compensate the loss but not to obtain profit. There are various kinds of fire insurance policies and these depend upon the terms of the policies and it varies from each policy to other policy. Primarily, we need to know what is fire under the contract. Fire has the primary and the plain popular meaning. It includes explosions caused by fire, but it does not include fire caused by chemical reactions or excessive heat. That means there must be actual ignition to result in loss, and that ignition must be caused by fire but not any other source. Here we come to an end of first question. The second is what amount is recoverable under the fire insurance contract. The underwriters or the insurers only indemnify the actual loss occurred but not any consequential loss. For instance, if the policyholder claims that any property that is destroyed would have resulted in huge profits and he claims the same, it is considered remote to the policy and the insured is not at all entitled to get anticipated profits by way of insurance. The amount recoverable as indemnity depends on valued or unvalued policies. If the subject matter of insurance is valued at the time of agreement, in cases of total loss of the subject matter, the whole amount is recoverable. But when there is partial loss, the insured is entitled only to the extent of damage but nothing more than the damage. There is an advantage in valued policies. The insured need not prove any value of loss to the insurer. And the second case is, if the subject matter of insurance is not valued, then the loss is calculated according to the market price on the date of fire and the place of fire. It is the duty of the insured to notify the insurer soon after the loss has occurred. That means to claim soon after the loss has occurred. The insurer then verifies the terms of contract. When the terms of contract are fully satisfied, the insurer proceeds in considering the claim whether it is substantial or small amount. To understand the nature of contract of insurance, contract of fire insurance, there are three doctrines which help us to understand it clearly. The first is doctrine of reinstatement, second subrogation, and the third is contribution. Firstly, what is doctrine of reinstatement? Reinstatement means replacement or restoration in the modern sense. Generally, the insurer discharges liability by paying compensation through money. But in some cases, where the goods are damaged but not totally destroyed, the insurer has the right to replace those goods instead of paying the money. But the insurer insured do not have any such right to claim for reinstatement of the goods. And the second doctrine is doctrine of subrogation. Under the doctrine, the insurer steps into the shoes of the insured after the payment of claim is done. As insurance is a contract of indemnity, the indemnifier is bound to pay for the loss, and at the same time, if there is anything which diminishes such loss that is already paid to the insured, the insurer is entitled to get back that amount which is excessively paid. This doctrine prevents the insured from receiving greater amount than the actual loss and protecting the doctrine of indemnity. The third is doctrine of contribution. This arises when there are more than one insurer for the same subject matter. Yes, there can be taken more than one insurance policy at the same point of time and on the same subject matter. After the loss had occurred, all the insurers pay proportionate to the value of the policy taken. For example, the loss is calculated to rupees 1200 and there are two insurers, X and Y. The property insured with X is rupees 5000 and Y is rupees 10,000. X has to contribute rupees 400 and Y contributes rupees 800. In this way, the insured is prevented from making profit out of an insurance contract. By this, we come to an end of a topic. Bye-bye.